Over the past week or two, New Mexico has been the site of a number of shootings where the campaign buildings, headquarters, other buildings affiliated with political figures in New Mexico had been shot at. And it was, as more and more of these came in, it was difficult to imagine that this wouldn't end up having some sort of political motivation, but you try not to jump ahead of the facts. Well, now we have a suspect. Solomon Peña was arrested on Monday evening by SWAT officers in Albuquerque. In a press conference, the police chief of Albuquerque described Peña as the mastermind of the attacks, suggesting that the shootings were in fact politically motivated, but politically motivated in a particular way. So it would be one thing if you were affiliated with one party, and so you just shot at buildings affiliated with the other party. This was a little bit more personal and yet also connected to some of the big political conspiracy theories that we've seen so much over the past couple of years. So Peña had been a candidate actually and had lost, but on the right these days, you don't just accept a loss. You certainly don't admit that you lost. You come up with something, anything other than that. And he came up with this. So he was apparently so angry over losing the election that he conspired with and paid 4 other men to just discharge weapons at the homes of 2 county commissioners and 2 state legislators since last December. By the way, when I say that like he lost by a good bit, Miguel Garcia, the Democrat incumbent, took home 73.6% of the vote. Peña got 26.4, which is a particularly bad showing in America. It was a 47-point difference between the two. But despite that, Peña continued to deny the results, writing repeatedly on social media that the entire thing had been rigged and that apparently in his mind justified these acts of violence. Bear in mind, this is an allegation. It seems like the evidence is robust at this point, but who knows what could come up. With that said, Danielle, what do you think about what we appear to know so far?
I mean, the thing that gets me about this case, one, is that it was not making national news in any type of major way. I saw it in some corners of Twitter, did not see it readily covered on any of the cable news outlets. And what we do when that happens is that we're not connecting the dots for people. And folks can say, well, we're waiting for the evidence to come in. I don't know how much more evidence that you need to come in to recognize that Republican rhetoric is escalating political violence in this country. That when you have folks that are referring to the opposition party as the enemy of the state, when you are literally using your own social media platforms to put your opponents in literal crosshairs of a gun, when you are creating anime that shows their death, right? And when you are using violent language to talk about difference of opinion and how this country should be run, how do you think this is gonna play out, right? And so I think that we do a disservice to the people of America by not saying, if X happens over here, Y is going to happen over here. Instead of saying like, oh, well, we have no idea how this political violence could be happening. We have no idea why Solomon Peña, who also has pictures with his Make America Great shirt and was at the insurrection and has been lifting up all of the conspiracy theories that are birthed out of QAnon and Donald Trump's mouth, that we don't know how this could have turned into violence. You need to look no further than him and then look across and around the globe to Brazil to see how America's rhetoric, how Republicans' rhetoric is affecting not only those in this country, but around the globe.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.